prepare to battle, not with weapons, but with our minds, with our actions. We cannot comply. Because if we comply, we can kiss the America we know. Any freedom that we have left, we can kiss it goodbye. Hey guys, what's up? This is kind of it's an emergency episode, just because I feel like this is something that needs to get out as quick as possible. You may or may not know about it, but I'm going to talk about it. That way, at least my viewers can get to see it as quick as possible and kind of know what's going on and what we need to do about it. Will let you know, it is thundering outside. I'm not sure if you guys will be able to hear it. I don't know if the mic will pick it up or not, but it is thundering. So if you hear it, it's okay. Our wonderful, wonderful, wonderful friend COVID-19 is back. Well, let's just go ahead and get into it. This isn't going to be anything super long, I don't think, unless I get off on a rant. But so kind of just to let you know what's happening, because I know some media outlets are talking about it, some aren't. So I want to get this out to you guys. And so, like, this literally just I've heard some of the podcasts I listen to talk about it. I've heard them talk about it in the last couple weeks, but I actually saw it on my local news for the first time. But so what is happening is we are starting to have mask mandates again. Not here locally. Oklahoma's great. I don't think there's anywhere specifically in Oklahoma that had a mandate ever, which is great about living in Oklahoma. But I know that other places, it's not as fun. And yeah, it's those more liberal ran cities, states, that sort of stuff. But mask mandates are back in those areas. I heard about mask mandates potentially coming back to airports soon. Don't know how much truth is to that or not. But yeah, so masks are apparently back. The thing that I saw specifically on my local news was school closings. Schools are already closing again for COVID, which is ridiculous enough in itself. Because we are already going to have a whole generation that is so behind. So just their education is already really poor quality, and having to learn it over a stupid screen is even worse quality. And I'm probably going to do a whole episode on the school system because it's messed up bad. And with the COVID stuff and doing school closings, doing virtual school, it's ridiculous. It doesn't need to happen. It's nobody learns. I'm sorry. I learn a lot of my stuff through YouTube, through podcasts, that kind of stuff. But it's because I'm mature enough that I can sit down and know I need to focus, know I need to take notes, that sort of stuff. But how do you think I figured that out? It wasn't through just somebody telling me I needed to do it and doing it. It was me figuring out, like, shoot, I'm not learning by doing this because I get so distracted. And so I have to learn to limit those distractions. And now that I'm mature enough, I've figured it out. I know I need to limit them because I get better results when I limit distractions and do it. But elementary age kids, middle school kids, high school, it doesn't matter what age of kids you are. Even in college, I hated online classes in college because I could not focus. And that's the thing. Attention spans right now they are so poor and so short. That's why creating content is so hard. Because you have to try to grab the attention and keep the attention for a good amount of time. And like high schoolers and college kids, that time could be an hour, hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours long. And it's impossible. So school closings, they're back. And then again, also on my local news that I saw, they were encouraging people to go out and get vaccinated. Go out and get vaccinated. See what happens. Might not want to play any sports, but yeah, no. Just so you know, not that it matters, but I'm definitely not vaccinated. I had COVID probably, I think, at least 3 times that I know of. And yeah, it sucked, and it wasn't fun. I definitely felt like I had some of the long-term effects, just fatigue. That also could have been because I was super lazy during COVID. But yeah. So yeah, masks are back, school closings are back, and vaccines promoting is back. So get prepared to have that all shoved down your throat. But that is all superficial. Like that's just the starting point. Now, because if you think about it, it happened fairly quick when all the COVID stuff took place. Initially, like mask and then school closings and just all that stuff happened fairly quick, but they kind of eased us into it more. Now they're just like, here you go, here's this, put your mask on. Yeah, you're not going to school. Yeah, you might want to get the vaccine. It's just the initial push this time. And so you're probably like, okay, well, if this is just the initial stuff, then what are they trying to do? And by they, I mean our own government, the World Economic Forum, just that whole agenda pushing group. If you don't know anything about it, research the World Economic Forum and then watch all the podcasts that pop up about it. It's a very deep hole, I will warn you. But it's very scary too. So, yeah. So, what they are trying to do, there's a whole slew of things that they're trying to do, but the main ones that I think are going to get pushed over the next year or so. By the way, I mean, I'm going to talk about it in a minute, but I think this is a whole election play again, just like it was the first time. But, so what they're doing, especially with this superficial stuff, with the masks, school closings, the vaccine promoting again, they are testing the waters. They test the waters with all sorts of stuff. There's all these points in history you can go back and look at it where they kind of pushed it a little bit just to see how the waters were. It happens all the time with racial division, all that stuff. And well, it happened just recently with what was it? It was lab-grown meat. I think it's still happening, but I think that'll get shut down pretty quick, hopefully. But yeah, so what they're doing is they're testing us right now. They're testing the waters to see what the temperature is, and they'll kind of go from there. But what I think they're going to do is, one, they want to shut everything down again. I mean, you're already seeing it with schools. They're shutting schools down again. And then next will be businesses, small businesses. So it'll put all those poor people that suffered so much during the first time, it's going to do them in this time, more than likely. A lot of them are going to be done for, unfortunately. It's sad. It's ridiculous. But I think that's what's going to initially happen. And it's going to be a complete shutdown again. I totally believe that. I could be wrong. Just through research, through other things that I'm hearing up the pipeline, stuff shuts down like that, whether you figured it out the first time or not, when they shut everything down like that, they are basically trying to take full control. The first time was a test. I don't know if the second time will be another test. But I can tell you the first time we did not pass the test. I'm hoping they missed their chance with that first time. I'm hoping people will pay attention this next time. That's why I'm kind of doing this. That way I can help as many people as I can to realize what's going on. But so yeah, they're going to try to shut everything down again. And I really don't have a good answer for what we can do about that right now. But the thing is, right now they are testing us. We need to make sure we pass this test. We need to make sure that when they test these waters, that they're like, maybe we shouldn't do this. Maybe we should try to come up with something else. I'll get into that in a minute. But like I was saying, I believe their full goal right now is to completely interrupt, completely stop the upcoming 2024 election. Because I think especially if Trump gets in, or if even like Vivek Ramaswamy gets in, I think they're very, very scared, like extremely scared, because they know, especially if Trump gets in, he's only got 4 years. He doesn't have another time to do this. So I think they are scared because Trump is going to get in and wipe all of them out. He's just going to let it go. And which is good. We need that to happen. But I believe they're going to do everything in their power to stop it. With Ramaswamy, I'm trying to put together a video. Andy Frisella recently got him on his podcast and did an interview with him, and it was so good. There were so many good points in there. I'll have a link to it in the description of this video, but I'm also going to do a video at some point breaking down the interview, kind of going over what I thought the key points were. But yeah, I think they're very scared of both those guys, and I believe both of them are at the top of the polls right now on the Republican side. And so I think they're going to do everything they can to be able to slide ballots in again, or to be able to stop the election in general from happening. Whether it be through war, whether it be through a deadlier pandemic, whatever, they're going to try to prevent Donald Trump or whoever else on the Republican side from getting control of the office. And the last thing that I think they're really trying to do, I think they're going to criminalize everybody who does not comply with their mandates. And we already saw this the first time around. Families were completely split apart by the mask mandates, all of that stuff the first time. I mean, I know my family was pretty good, but there were still people in my family that were going crazy over it. Just the people that lost their minds over the ones who were not complying with the mask mandates, none of that. They look so stupid now. I'm not trying to be rude, but they do. You do. If you were one of those ones who was like, oh, you need to wear your mask. Oh, you need to wear your mask. No, I'm sorry. You look stupid. Because even the great Dr. Fauci has come out and said that the mask did not work. And yeah, so I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to pull an Uno reverse card on you and do the same thing back to you. But just know, I know you're stupid. But they're going to, this time, they're literally, so a little bit of backstory here. All the great world leaders, especially all the ones part of the World Economic Forum, so like Bill Gates, just George Soros, and a bunch of the big world leaders, they've been doing, so they did one of these right before the first pandemic came around, and I believe it happened in 2019, a year before 2020, before COVID-19 really took off. They all got together and did a pandemic exercise. Forget the name of it, but they all got together and practiced what the pandemic would be like. And Bill Gates came out in an interview and said that it did not go how they thought it would go. And that's a good thing. We did better than what they thought. But the bad thing is, they just had another one of those exercises. 1 + 1 = 2 here. But yeah, so you'd have to go find the video, but there was a video of a simulation of the exercise, and basically one of the big talking points in the exercise was, what would we do with people that don't comply? And there were things like jail time thrown around, execution thrown around, all that stuff. And what I've noticed throughout a lot of these things, a lot of stuff that gets put on or put together by these big people, these government officials, all this stuff, I mean, they have to make it public for a reason. And I guess they just think people are too dumb to figure it out. But they are literally laying out their game plan on what they're going to do. And they did it the first time around, and they're probably doing it again. And so I think this time, if we get far enough into it, I think they're going to try to at least imprison everyone who does not comply. And it happened a little bit the first time, but I think it'll happen more in mass numbers this time. You guys, just wanted to interrupt this emergency episode real quick, just to ask you to make sure if you find value from this, if this helps you in any way, I ask that you would just go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like the video, make sure you share it, and then after the video, go and check out the rest of my content. If you didn't know, this is the More You Know episode, which my channel, my podcast, has different segments to it. This one is The More You Know, where we talk about, some could say conspiracy, that sort of deal. I'm just trying to inform you of things going on in the world and kind of giving you my take on it and what we should do about them as a society. Don't charge anything. All I ask is that you subscribe to it and share. But other than that, let's get back to the action. Now the question comes up, what are we going to do about it? Well, let me tell you, the very first thing that we need to do is we need to have a unified message of mass non-compliance. Listen. I'm telling you, listen to this. It cannot be just a select few people not complying. Because even if like your grocery store that you go to every Sunday, like I go to the grocery store pretty much every Sunday is when I do my grocery shopping. If they start requiring you to wear a mask to come in, don't wear the mask. And if they're not going to let you go inside, don't go inside. Even for just a brief moment. Compliance is still compliance. We cannot comply with this stuff. With these bogus rules, these bogus mandates, we cannot comply with it. And so with that being said, on the mask compliance, you've got to be prepared to put it all on the line. I just told you, there's a chance that they might imprison people, they might even kill people for it. You have got to be willing to put it all on the line for your country. Yeah, you may not be a service member, you may not be a cop, you may not be a firefighter, you may not be in the Navy, the Marines, the Army, none of that. But as an American citizen, you still have a right to protect and serve your country. This is your chance to do that. Because I am telling you, if we do not win this battle now, over the next year, the next couple years, it's it for America. I don't have a doubt about it. If we do not find a way out of this massive hole that they have put us into, we're done. As a country, we are done. What kind of freedom you think you have now? Kiss it goodbye. So you've got to have mass non-compliance. Can't be just one of us. You got to be willing to put it all on the line. And like I said, you've got to be able to stand your ground with zero compromise. Zero. Whether it's going into the grocery store for 10 minutes, putting a mask on for 10 minutes. No. I know it seems extreme. I know it sounds ridiculous. But I'm telling you, it is necessary. I'm not joking. I'm not trying to be some extremist here. I know it sounds crazy. I know it shouldn't sound crazy though. Because look at how bad of shape we came out on the other side of the first round. I'm done. I'm not apologizing. Think what you want. Unsubscribe. Unfollow me. Call me crazy. Whatever. Or listen and apply this to your life here. Because the last thing that we need to do, it's simple. Mass non-compliance, zero compromise, be willing to put it on the line, and then you just got to wake other people up. People are, I don't know if it's hypnotized, if they're in a trance, whether their brain is just so fried from all the crap that has gone on over the last few years. I mean, we don't know what to believe at all. Our media is so compromised. Our government's so compromised. Our healthcare system's so compromised. Who do we trust? I don't know. It's hard for me to trust the person next door to me. Honestly. You don't know who's who. You don't know who to trust. But I can tell you, people preaching the same message, those are the ones you can trust. Because by doing this, I'm putting my own skin on the line. Anybody preaching this message is putting their skin on the line. And granted, I don't have much skin. I'm not some big multi-millionaire. I barely have $1,000 in my account, really, to be honest, right now, because it's so tied up in other things. And I wish I was able to have more influence. That's why you guys got to share this stuff. But go check out guys like Andy Frisella, Bedros Keuilian. There's so many people out there that you have got to go listen to. Go listen to Jocko. Go listen to Joe Rogan. Any of those people. They are putting their skin on the line. And the thing is, the one thing that makes me believe in this so much and feel confident in putting this out there is because these people don't have to. All those people I just mentioned, they could go buy an island and not have to deal with anybody ever again. But they are willing to put their life, their business, their family, all of that on the line for this country. And that is what makes me believe in them so much and trust them. Because they could lose it all. After years and years and years of work. Everything that they worked for, they are willing to put it on the line for this. Just think about that. To achieve mass non-compliance, we have got to wake everyone else up. Whether it be your family, your friends, your neighbors, whoever. Because it's going to take all of us. So here's the deal. You're sitting there after watching this or hearing this, thinking one of two things right now. You either think I'm crazy, or you can actually see that this stuff is actually happening. Those of you that see this for what it is, glad to have you aboard. I'm glad you see this. You need to continue to get ready. Wake up as many as you can. For those of you that think I'm crazy, here's what I say to you. There's two things. Maybe I am crazy. Maybe I am insane. Maybe I'm just a conspiracy theorist. Could be. But the other thing is, what if what I'm saying is actually true? What if it is? And you chose not to listen to it. You chose not to prepare. Then what? Here's where I stand. I would rather be prepared and nothing happen at all. I would love for none of this to come true. Trust me, I don't want it to happen. I would love for none of this to happen. But I'd want to be prepared. Because if it did happen, and I wasn't prepared, I would never be able to forgive myself. Because that would mean I would suffer, my family would suffer, my friends would suffer, everyone would suffer around me. Because I wasn't willing to prepare. Because I thought maybe something was crazy. And I'll be honest, I was in your shoes not too long ago. I was like, this stuff's crazy. Until I really saw what was happening. And really decided to take a step back, look at it from multiple perspectives, and saw what was truly happening. You've got to wake up. You've got to wake up those around you. Prepare to battle. Not with weapons, but with our minds. With our actions. We cannot comply. Because if we comply, we can kiss the America we know. Any freedom that we have left, we can kiss it goodbye. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. You like this video, and make sure you share it as much as possible. And when you share it, tag me in it. That way I can give you some props. Go check out my other videos. They're all awesome. I may not speak the best yet, but I am definitely working on it. So go check them out. Thank you guys for being here. Prepare. Be ready. We've got this. I will see you guys later.